Hello, this is Dyer from Divergence Analysis. Today we're looking at the DVAN SmartLines package available on MultiCharts. I have all the indicators available in the package up on this chart of Apple. It's a daily chart of Apple. The package is applicable though on equities, fixed income, futures trading, index, currencies. So applicable on all asset classes and time frames, but in this case we're using Apple as an example. I want to start off by going through the list of indicators. We have DVAN Paintbar, DVAN SmartLines, DVAN Trigger Signals. That's a show me that just plots potential entry points long and short. And we have DVAN Short-Term Cycle in a panel beneath, and another panel beneath DVAN Long-Term Trend. I'll go through each of these indicators very briefly. If you have any questions or want to take a free trial on MultiCharts, please email us at info@divergenceanalysis.com, which I'll include in the comments section below. DVAN SmartLines are the three lines that overlay prices and create the buying and selling cycles visible throughout the price trend movement. We can see when the three lines, the light blue, white dotted, and red line, intersect. Those are plotting the buying cycles, selling cycle, buying cycles. The light blue line is called the trend line, and this is going to be the direction of the trend, as you can see throughout that buying cycle. The trend line changes up or down depending on price closing above or below the pivot line, which is the white dotted line. The pivot line is plotting the price point one period forward at all times at which this trend will change. So because it's plotting that price point at which the trend will change, it's also the major support and resistance line within the buying and selling cycles. You can see when prices break up through the pivot line, as you see here and here, those are showing points where the trend is changing to an uptrend. When prices close below the pivot line, that's where prices are changing to a downtrend. The third line is the stop line, which is the opposite side of the trend line, which makes it important where they converge. The stop line also shows you expansion and contraction of the cycle. As the lines are moving away from each other, the cycle is expanding, and there's more force in that current cycle. When the lines start converging back, as you see here, this is when the force in the buying cycle in this case is abating or weakening. I'm going to take off DVAN SmartLines. We can talk about DVAN Paintbar. DVAN Paintbar is simply tracking the buying and selling pressure in the underlying security. It's buying dominance or selling dominance. Green price bars mean the buying pressure is dominant. Red price bars mean the selling pressure is dominant. This helps as position management, as a confirmation on your entry points, and it helps especially at highs and lows when you see, for instance, here at relative highs, price bars are still red. This is telling us that although we're making new highs, this is actually weak and likely to pull back. You can also see DVAN trigger signal show me. As I mentioned before, these are the green and red dots that are plotting potential entry points to the long and short side in the security. Important to note with trigger signals, it's a velocity-based indicator, so it's very sensitive. You want to make sure DVAN Paintbar is agreeing with that potential entry point. So we see green, red, green. This is the oscillator oscillating around its trend line. We want to make sure that we're focusing on the long trades because we have green price bars, short trades because we have red price bars, a long trade because of green price bars. I'll take that off. We also have DVAN short-term cycle. This is going to be the intermediate and shorter term cycle that we can really rely on for swing trading, and I'm catching the meat of each of the trends. So you can see green histogram bars mean short-term uptrend, red histogram bars short-term downtrend. There's also a leading line, the quicker line, running through this histogram, and that's showing where the force is really picking up in a shorter term fashion within that trend. So you can see when the leading line breaks out of zero to the upside with the green histogram bars, that's where you get the acceleration of force. When the leading line breaks down through zero with the red histogram bars, that's where you get the acceleration of force to the downside. Long-term trend is a cumulative macro indicator that's identifying bullish or bearish bias in the security. So red below blue, it's still a longer term bearish bias. Red above blue, it's a longer term bullish bias. So you can see here in Apple, even though it gets quite a significant spike, on a longer term basis, we want to be tighter with this stop because the long term trend is still showing a bearish bias. It comes and almost tests lows again before you really see the cross above the blue line, meaning a longer term bullish bias, where we want to be holding our long trades more patiently and cutting our short trades quicker because we're identifying a longer term bullish bias. So those are the indicators available in the DVAN SmartLines package on MultiCharts. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, or have interest in trialing the DVAN SmartLines package on MultiCharts, please get in touch with us on our website at dvansmartlines.com or email us at info@divergenceanalysis.com, which I'll include in the comments section below. Thank you.